it says I am live. Is everything okay? Underheat Records. What up, man? All right. Armin, how's it going? Can you guys hear me and see me and all of that? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Gavin, Saya. Hey, Rob, how you doing, man? All right. Okay, well, you know, since I'm here, we all know what's going to happen, right? It's 8 o'clock, or it's a little after 8, but, you know, it'll be what it is, but okay. Doot, 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 doot. So timer. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so in case everybody's unfamiliar, if you're new or whatever, I've altered what I do now on Saturday nights. It's still 8 o'clock or whatever. But the pest timer, that's the top one, is every 20 minutes I need to stand up and take a break because of my back. And I'm doing that now because I'm going longer. And the greedy timer, it allows me, it's where I'm gonna manually insert ads. That way I can tell you when it's happening and I can do it, you know what I mean? Rather than have YouTube just interrupt everybody. And then the evil timer, of course, is just, you know, that's when the night's over. That's, you know, so when it goes. But so instead of just doing the, you know, hour to an hour and a half type thing or whatever, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes every Saturday now. So that'll be that. Is there anything else I need? Let me make sure I'm caught up with the comments. I think this is going to be, I'm okay with this arrangement today. I think maybe it'll be a good arrangement. Anyway, as far as, you know, the cameras and the mics and everything fitting in, and I need some water. Anyway, let's see who put up. Okay, there's Rob, Armand, hello, and Underheat Records, okay, and Gavin, well, thank you for existing too, Saya. And all right, and hey, MSC, you're gonna have some, I hope, some jokes tonight for us all. Yikes, I'm sorry about your wisdom teeth, Underheat. The evil timer's alive, right? Well, I'm glad you like those, Broke. Hey, James, how's it going? Christianity and World Rule. Okay, hey, man, how is it? Is any movement on your podcast stuff? Or is that still kind of in progress? The doomsday clock, right? Hey, Sunny Thief. All right, I think I'm caught up with all the comments now. So I don't know. Oh, you know what? There was a thing I was going to do. Yikes, where is it? I wonder. Oh, no, wait. I'll do it next week. I put it away. I was going to try a different sort of trigger sort of thing. And then, anyway, I don't want to worry about it. So what should I start with tonight? Oh, you know what? Where's the brush? Where's the brush? Okay, I'll find the brush after the first break because I don't see it. So, you know, the one thing about this is it's awkward to reach through everything to get what I'm after. I think I'm going to start with the chunk of wood tonight. And I am going to do gameplay tonight. I'm going to do Sokoban, though. And I picked one. I kind of looked at it. Well, here, I'll just show it to you. Why not? So we'll go over to that window and you can see what it's going to be when I get to it. So there it is. It's, let me move this out of the way so I can see the actual game screen better. Yeah, it's like, you know what, I don't know if you can make it out or not, but it's like 1,000, it's like almost 1,600 moves for the thing. And I figured, you know, I might not even finish it tonight, but it looks fairly straightforward, though. It's just going to be a lot of moving around. So we'll see if that can get completed or not. If it doesn't get completed, I'll take a snapshot of it so that I can complete it next week. So, okay, so there's more comments. And hey, Nasal Penny, how you doing? I'm glad you could drop by. Yeah, you can go ahead and sleep, man. I'm not going to be offended. Okay, anyway, so there's what's going to happen later as far as gameplay. But for now, I'm going to do the chunk of wood. So I'll do it first off with just, maybe I'll whisper over here. And I'll do some tapping just with my fingers right now. Do the tapping over there while I'm doing some whispering right here. Doing some whispering right here tapping over there. Oops. Whispering over here while I'm tapping over there. Now switch around a little bit. And I'm whispering, oopsie daisy, whispering over here while I'm tapping over there. And I'm whispering over here while I'm tapping over there. Well, you're truly welcome, Gravy Gaming. And I'm going to whisper a little bit closer into the mic, but really quietly. Do some tapping over there. You know, I've been toying with the idea the magical ASMR. Well, you know, if I think of a good way of sending you, man, I'll do that. I'll give you a quest. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys. I've been thinking that I might try my hand at doing some. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly which trigger I'll pick, which is why I'm bringing it up tonight. Maybe you guys would, you know, if you, whatever. I'm thinking of doing something where it's sound only, right? Where I don't actually speak. All right, on Menacey. That's cool. But anyway, so I'm thinking of doing, you know, like a no talking video or two. Well, or two, whatever. I mean, if it goes well, maybe I'll do them periodically, you know. Take your wife, please, yeah. Well, right, yeah, Henny Youngman right out of it, right? Man. There you go, Rexon. That's cool. So if I was to do a sound only, what would you guys vote for? Or do you think it's a bad idea? I mean, I might do it anyway if you think it's a bad idea, but I don't know. I've just been thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know. Okay, we're going to do that. Slowing down a bit. Slowing down a bit. You and me both, MSC. Being a little bit slow, a little bit low. Latex gloves. You know, I've never done anything with latex gloves. I don't have any, but, you know, they're not difficult to acquire, really, are they? And going slow and low, low, low. How low do I go? Da, da, do. I think that's the bottom note I can hit. Do, do. I can't get any lower than that. Okay, I'm reading Christianity and Worldviews thing here. Wow, dude, okay. Oh, you're making some progress, man. I can't wait to hear about what's going on when you know, have the rubber hit the road, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I can do that, Aladdin. Is that a little bit better for you? Huh. Well, thanks, Kevin. That's an interesting suggestion. I'll love to. Next payday, I'll take some money out and go buy some latex gloves. Yeah, you know, I think, Broke Boy, that would be a good thing for a video. I mean, I kind of have done, you know, a little bit of biographical stuff, but not so much into, you know, how I ended up doing ASMR, but because there's really not much to tell. I mean, I can answer it like right now really quickly. I consumed ASMR a lot, and I decided I wanted to give back. It was really like that simple. Well, I guess there's a little bit more stuff. The other layer is I had recently quit drinking, and I was looking for productive things to do with my time. Since if you're not sitting around drinking in bars, then you have plenty of time to do other things. And so, MSR was one of them. It's a good idea, Christianity Worldview. That's kind of what I'm hoping to get to do, but my time management skills suck, so I think I'm getting a little bit better, but so MSC, are the nitrile gloves, those are the ones that come in odder colors, right? Because I seem to remember noticing them because some people have latex allergies, right? And that's, what they use, in lieu of latex, right? Actually, I do have some story reading ASMR, Aladdin, in it's, kind of, there's one Joyce story. I wanted to do more Joyce stories, James Joyce, out of Dubliners, and I will eventually. It's just that my reading of it was not anything that I was too pleased with, so I want to revisit it after I've maybe done some practicing and that kind of thing, reading it aloud. And yeah, okay, thanks, Gavin. Oh, wait a minute, somebody said something. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about doing anything with the skateboard. Yeah, after the first break, I will pick it up, because I kind of have this weird little, there's a camera there on a tripod, and it's really only a couple of feet from me, if that, maybe more like 18 inches, and then the mics are, of course, right here, and it's like everything's kind of, and the lights shining on the green screen are right there and there, so it's like, it's a bit of a maze to get in and out of the chair here. But anyway, okay, let's go back to slowing down, Bill. Oh, you mean aloha, right? That's the Mexican. No, it's not Mexican. It's Hawaiian. A-L-O-H-A, or O-H-A, right? Yeah. That's the greeting that they use in Hawaii. That's their, from their native thing, right? Native language. And they use it both for coming and going, and that's what I like about it. You know what I mean? It kind of, to my mind, underlines the idea that the world is in cycle. You know what I mean? Everything's kind of moving around and dynamic. And so I think aloha is, I don't know, it just sounds beautiful to me, and I like the idea of, use it for a greeting and going, right? And the siblings thing is because, well, as you might guess from a guy that wears tie-dye t-shirts and has a really long hair and beard, that I have called people brother and sister for a good part of my life, you know what I mean? And then I kind of had a thing that popped into my head once when I was considering things that are going on with people who don't fit the binary, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'll just use sibling because it's general. It doesn't, it applies to anybody really, because I firmly believe that humans should care for humans. Wow, cool. I should get some of those MSE, just because there's a lot of times I end up in situations, where I'm cleaning up something around here where I would have preferred to have gloves on or something. And sometimes my leather work gloves are just, they're not, you don't have a lot of dexterity or fine control, because they're leather. They're intended to keep your hands from getting damaged when you're doing stuff. Oh, okay, I can try that, Alan. Do a little tapping, do it like here, and then like, okay, the timers are so I can keep track of what I'm doing. So every 20 minutes, I'm going to take a short break so I can stand up, and because I have a bad back, I have degenerative disc disease. The second timer, the greedy timer, which is a cycle of 40 minutes, that's when I will instead of letting YouTube insert ads, I've set it manually. So I'll insert the ads every 40 minutes. That way, we know what's happening. We're not getting interrupted. And I decided I'm going to try this for a while. If that gets to be too oppressive with ads, I'll make them even sparser. But that just seemed like a good whatever. And then the one that's the evil timer is when the show ends. And so it goes from, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. So there's the idea. It's just so I can, and also I have them timers up there just so everybody knows what's going on, right? So if you get here late or something like that, you can glance at the timer and you know where everything's at and where we are. So anyway, so let's just go back to, hey Sludge, how's it going? Yeah, that might be a good idea, Gavin. I'm always a little nervous about some kind of older stuff because of, I don't know. They were more loose with various chemicals back in the day, so. Okay, that sounds like a good idea for the Christianity Emergency podcasting. Right on, man. I'm glad you're making progress. That's a good thing, man. Some ceramic potting compound, huh? Interesting. When I was a kid, I grew up in Hayward, right? So there's Hayward area recreation district, which is HARD, right? HARD, Hayward Area Recreation District. And they used to have a lot of programs for like arts and crafts and, tennis lessons and the public pool and, all these things. And so my mom was really into pottery. She was actually a potter for a while. I mean, she didn't make any money at it, but she threw pots and made pots, and there was this place called Weeks Park in Hayward that they actually have a kiln and a room with wheels, both electric and where you kick them. And anyway, so when I was a kid for several years, my sister and I, we went and, I knew how to throw pots and, anyway, so the only thing I've ever used in that regard as far as ceramics or whatever is actual just straight up clay, you know what I mean? And, just clay and like sandstone and porcelain were the two things that we had available to us. But so when I think ceramics, that's the thing that pops into my mind. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, I suppose, but that's what came to mind, man. I've been having the beard, let's see, I'll be 60, and my sister's 3 years younger than me, so she'll be 57, and I started it on her 40th birthday, so 17 years almost. 16 years and some, 16 and a half years so far, I guess. Her birthday's in November, so in November it'll be, 17 years. It didn't take that long to obviously get this long, but have I ever done music live stream? No, I haven't done a live stream yet. Part of the problem with that is a technical issue because I use Linux and my audio interface is a product by Focusrite, and they and most people, nobody supports Linux, so I have to go find a piece of software that will let me control, because right now everything just runs on the stock settings that you get out of the box, which is fine, for almost everything I do, it's perfect. But I don't know how to use it as a mixer to make a submix that I can include the keyboard, guitar, those line-in aspects, as opposed to just having just the mics only. Right now it's set that only the mics only come into the OBS. So I have to figure out how to get that to happen better. I don't know. I've been toying with the idea of it. It's just, it hasn't been a high priority for me. But, hopefully I'll get there. Do a prank and yell into the mic. No, man, I'm never going to do that kind of thing, man. Okay, let's see. Huh. That's interesting, Gavin. Hey, Circle Herc, interesting name. Yeah, I know. But you know, Buggles' "Video Killed the Radio Star" is the very first song that MTV showed. Yeah, I know who Trevor Horn is. You know, he's also the daddy that started the whole bam. You know, with the orchestral stabs. Because he was, well, you know, I don't know that he was ever, was he an actual member of Yes? Because I stopped paying attention to Yes after, you know, oopsie daisy, the 20-minute thing is done. So I'll pick this up after the break thing. So yeah, because it's going to be a long story. So, and here we go. Let's start this one over. And here we go. I'll be right back. Let me put it on the... Okay. So I'm back. Hopefully that wasn't too painful or annoying. Anyway, so back to the talking about Yes thing. I like, there's basically two albums of Yes that I really, really like. I enjoy the other ones, but I haven't purchased them or anything, you know what I mean? So I like Fragile and Close to the Edge. I mean, Close to the Edge has got to be, to my mind, it's like, it's, yeah, super, super up there as far as like, you know, progressive stuff, you know what I mean? It's just such a crazy piece. But anyway, back to the Trevor Horn thing, because what was that? They did an album. What was the guitarist that came from South Africa that was playing with them? And that it's like, I can't remember the name of the album. It's the one that has "Owner of a Lonely Heart" on it, right? Because I'm pretty sure Trevor Horn produced that album, but I didn't know that he'd actually kind of joined the band or anything like that. Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I'm okay with the Buggles. I haven't really listened to them all that much because, you know, I enjoy them, but they don't really grab me, you know. Um, but yeah, I like, you know, I like some progressive stuff. King Crimson is one of my favorite bands as well. Anyway, so I feel like I got to catch up now. Where are we at with? Yeah, thanks, Yickerman. Well, KRT, that's great. Oh, well, I see what you mean, Gavin. Yeah, all right. Man, what a drag. Hey, Lucas. Yeah, Trevor Horn's he's a busy guy, man. Yeah, Trevor Rabin is the guitarist, right? He's interesting. I don't know that he's one of my favorite guitarists, but I thought he did some interesting stuff. Although I'm really partial to Steve Howe as far as, you know, his place in Yes. Yeah, I that's a really good song, isn't it, Circle Park? That's just fantastic. Liam Gallagher. The name seems familiar, but I can't bring anything specific to mind, so maybe I don't know anything about it or haven't heard of it, you know what I mean? But maybe it's somewhere in the deep recesses. Oh, you know, I didn't get the brush. Man, I gotta remind myself, get the brush. Get the brush. I'm gonna grab the skateboard next break, too. You know, let me move to a different trigger so we're not just having just the chunk of wood tonight. Where do I want to put it when I'm done with it? You know, here, I'll just put it back over here. stuff here. Let's get the... Oh man, last time I just stacked everything up. I didn't put everything back in the crinkle bag, so it's kind of all in disarray. I didn't realize that. All right, so you're just going on the floor, Mr. Piece of Wood. And let's bring this stuff all over here so I can have better access to it without bumping everything. There we go. Okay, what I'm going to do with these, let's take the keyboard and set it over there. At some point I'm going to probably like just invent some weird, you know, live stream rig where I just, you know, like, you know, modified like a kid's jungle gym or something, you know. Okay. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to do the crinkly stuff, I guess. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, is that one of the guys out of Oasis? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't really know Oasis that well. I mean, you know, they had songs on the radio and I'd listened to them, but I don't think they're horrible, but they just, again, they never grabbed me, you know. Wow. So basically they're only just missing Squire, aren't they? That must have been pretty amazing. Oh, since it's June, that means end of school year is going to be soon for a lot of people, if it isn't already happened. Is anybody going to do anything? Do you have any plans for summer vacations and the like? Interesting. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Living in the plastic age. All right. Yeah, I'm feeling okay, James. Why do I look like I'm, you know, one way or the other? It's for the most part, yeah. I've been having some, well, I don't know, here's the gripes. I've been having issues with my back, but I have, you know, these muscle relaxer things to help with acute issues. And so they do make me a little groggy, though, so even today and the past couple of days I've been a little kind of, but yeah, otherwise I'm, you know, my emotional state is a positive one at the moment. How about yourself, James? I started this channel in 2012. Although when I first started, I, you know, did, I don't know, a fair amount, I guess. And then I kind of just only did it every once in a while for a long time. I'd go months without posting anything, you know. Yeah, and, you know, I got back into the swing of it. In truth, I know I've told you guys this before, but for those who might not have heard it, the thing that kind of kicked my pants into gear for it was I got a email from YouTube, you know, as a content creator, that they were changing their rules, because it used to be that if you didn't monetize it, they couldn't put ads on it. Well, at least that's, you know, that was the agreement that they did. But they changed it, because obviously they can change their terms. It's in the thing when you first agree that, you know, they can change the terms. So they changed the terms to be that even if you don't monetize your work, that they will, because it's on the platform. And I was like, you know, hell no. I'm not having them make money off of me and me not get my share of it. You know what I'm saying? That just really rubbed me the wrong way. Because it's like, Alphabet has plenty of money. You know what I mean? Anyway. TENS. Oh, TENS. Isn't that those things with the electrical stimulation things? Yeah, I have one of those. It's sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't with me. well, you know what, you come in and follow the urge, man, you know? It's good for your brain, you know? Also, you know, any kind of thing that will help you have insight in the world, like, you know, history or, you know, well, any subject really that goes back a while, gives you some, you know, context of what humans are doing. Transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. Right, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, James. So, yeah, so after that, I decided, well, there's a couple of other things that came into play, because when, shortly after I was diagnosed with a degenerative disc disease, I realized that I couldn't keep my job at the paper company because a huge chunk of my job was in the warehouse carrying heavy boxes. Like, you know, dunnage, a package of dunnage is like 70 pounds, or I don't think it's 75, I think it's just about 70. I mean, that's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough that when you're carrying it around for, you know, moving it from place to place in the warehouse, it gets to be heavy. You know, and I had no problem muscularly, you know, picking stuff up, but my back just, well, you know, anyway, so I gave up the job and came back home, and there's a lot more to it than just my job, but anyway, I was having trouble finding work, and then the pandemic happened, and then I went, you know what, I'm just going to lean into the YouTube thing, so we're going to see if I can make that be a thing that's, you know, generates income enough that I don't have to worry about doing anything else. Well, cool, Joel. Glad you made it. Oh, I didn't see James's thing. Oh, no, now is not a time to insert the ad, YouTubes. Go away. I have a plan in place. Just leave me alone. That annoys me. It's like, look, I'm going to give you your stinking ads. Let's get weird. What are your thoughts on the moon? Are you thinking that there was no moon landing? Is that the idea? Because I think that no moon landing stuff is ridiculous. You know, especially because you can go places where they'll do the experiment with the mirrors, you know what I mean? Where that you can ping it and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, there's lots of things that, you know, it's just like, it's just, you know, and okay, so I know part of the thing is, you know, that they had, you know, Kubrick do it, and, you know, all this whole thing is, you know, one of those stories like that. But I'm thinking, okay, but, you know, the Soviets were doing stuff too. And do you really think that the Soviet Union would play ball with our conspiracy? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's, nah, I don't buy that. You know, I think it is what, you know, I think we went to the moon. You know. Anyway. Let me switch to a different little crinkly thing or whatever. Let's go to the original Piso bubble wrap. Yeah, while I'm crinkling that, I think I'll whisper over here a bit. Just say pretty much nonsense of something, but whispering in this ear while I'm crinkling over there, kind of maybe moving it around, maybe, you know. And I'll whisper over here. Let me move the chair a little bit. And now I'll whisper over here while I crinkle over there. Trying to be careful with my hand gestures because the Ozbot camera that I have, it's my, well, it's, I guess it's new. It's not new anymore. I've had it for, I guess, a month or two, haven't I? But it has like some things where you can do a hand gesture and it will zoom, and you do a different hand gesture and it will follow you around. But I don't want to do that now because then it takes it and it will pan it away from the, well, also, yeah, I'm just not going to mess with it. But sometimes it misreads hand gestures, like I'm not trying to get it to do anything and it'll just suddenly start doing it. And it's just like, stop that, stop that. Yeah. Yes, Joel, I'm going to play games tonight. I'm going to play a game. I'm going to play some Sokoban, which I'll probably do Actually, at the next break, I'll get the brush and the skateboard, and then after the break after that, I'll do the Sokoban, at least for a while. But it's made of cheese, yeah. Yeah, I doubt that it's hollow. You know what I mean? Because that just doesn't make sense in the physical model, you know? Hey, Sir Stabby, how's it going? And, you know, the dark side thing, that's just a matter of positioning and timing, right? You know what I mean? It's like the way that the rotations work and the timing. I mean, it's a little like everything lining up for, like, currently right now, the solar eclipses and the moon covering the sun, like it works really well, but it's just an accident, you know, that we happen to live at the time while that works, right? Because, you know, the moon is slowly moving away from us. So for a while it would have been different, you know what I mean, a long time ago, and then now and sooner or later it's going to be so far that, you know, it'll be less and less covering of the sun, you know. So, you know, we just kind of got lucky in that regard. Time is passing, dude, so I'm going to go to the pouches. Here we go. Because they're different. They're both just a little bit different from each other, and I like that. I don't know, something about it is good. So after I do this for a little bit, I'll move to the big bag, and then it will be break time pretty much. And this time is going to be not just a break where I go, you know, kind of stretch and get my back, you know, happy, but there will also be, I'll do the manual insertion of an ad then too. Oh yeah, the Pure ASMR guy. Yeah, he and I kind of collaborated for a bit. He helped me, you know, try to get my channel growing. Like, he did some of the, you know, did my thumbnails and titles and stuff like that for a minute. Not all of them, but just a few. And so I made the deal that he could use some of my material in lieu, you know, not in lieu, but in exchange for his assistance on some stuff. So, you know, and I got a lot of subscribers off of that one that he did. I don't know, it's a few years ago, and it's got like 3 million views, you know. So it's like, hey, YouTube, show people my stuff. Clearly it'll work. People like it. Thanks, Pavel. You know, MSC, you're just killing me, man. You're just killing me. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna switch to the big bag because I really like it, and I might revisit the crinkly stuff later, but I really like this one. Oh, interesting. That's kind of an interesting idea. You know, that's like one of those things that was, you know, very common in various mythologies, right? You know. Oh, and there's this. Oh, I can't remember all the details, but I think there's a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode that has to do with this weird. I don't remember how it gets started. Man, I wish I could remember the episode better. I just remember that it was this weird thing, and like Data gets taken over or something like that. It's this whole weird. I can't remember. It's been so many years since I've seen it. That's funny, Ickerman. Mars. I feel like I've missed some comments. Okay, here we go. Are you using what computer are you using? Christianity and Worldview. Is it a PC running Windows? You know, it's kind of. I have to say I'm very happy with my current machine. Here, let me do a little bit of whispering over here again, just because whispering can be good, yeah. And I guess we can't forget the other ear, right? Gotta do some whispering over here as well. Oh, the timers went off. Like, I didn't even notice them. Okay, so I'm going to restart them both. Doink, doink. And I'm going to go to this one. Okay, I am back. I hope that wasn't too painful. I have no idea whether, because I don't know how the ads work as far as how long they go, so I don't know that, you know, I'm coming back at the same time as the ads are over with, but anyway. I'm just trying to find a way of making it be, you know, YouTube wants live streams to be, you know, running ads, and I mean, I can actually turn it off, but I think that also turns off the thanks button and a bunch of other stuff too, so it's like, fine, I'll just, you know, it's your platform, I'll, you know, try and play ball, but, and I'd like to make it be as good an experience as possible for you guys. Windows, okay. If it was a car, you get recalled, that's funny. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't like Microsoft is the instability of their OS. Man, when I used to be a programmer, I kept servers at my Havel too. I had one that was a Linux box and one was an NT box because I needed them for work. And man, you know, the joke is the blue screen of death, right? Because it was just, I mean, an NT was way more stable than just, you know, normal Windows. But still, it was just, and man, it was horrible. And you're doing work, and it's like you had to be really religious about saving your work, because it would just crash at the most inopportune times, and you could lose work, and it would just be like, man. Yeah, so Lucas, that's part of it. I just think that, you know, their product sucks. They also have I guess that's really one of the biggest parts, but they also are guilty of some really pretty horrible predatory business practices, you know, and it's just like, man, it's just screw you. And Linux is a better OS. I mean, it's just way better. I mean, I can upgrade stuff all the time without interrupting my workflow. You know what I mean? It doesn't take anything over. It doesn't whatever. Yeah, this machine has never crashed. I mean, I've had software hang up before because, you know, you go get some free software from somewhere, you go, right, okay, whatever. But the machine itself has never crashed. Favorite Beatles song? You know, oh man, what would that be? You know, because there's a lot of things I like by the Beatles. My two favorite albums are the Sgt. Pepper's, which, you know, A Day in Life, right? And the Beatles. It's commonly called the White Album, right? But it's just the Beatles. Man, both of those albums are really fantastic. And I mean, the other ones are really good too, but those are the ones that really, really grabbed me the most. Yes, I did grab the skateboard, Armand. You know, okay, so while we're chatting, I guess I'll go ahead and, okay, here we go. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, this is an actual Fiberflex deck from the late 70s. I think I got it about, I can't remember, 6th or 7th grade, something like that. So 76, 77, that kind of era. And the trucks and wheels are new. I got these Bennett Vectors because I used to ride Bennett Pros on this, but they don't make Bennett Pros anymore. They just make these. They're a little bit wider too, which I quite like, and they're black. Bennett didn't used to be black back in the day. And then I got Hogs wheels because I just liked them. And anyway, so here, let's do a little bit of spinning. I don't know how much you'll be able to hear anything, but does that make enough of a sound to be picked up by the mic? I can't tell. Maybe I should turn it. Yeah, let's turn it like. Let's do it again like that, so you can actually watch it spin while it's doing it by the mic. There we go. You didn't get an ad. Interesting. Well, of course there's limitations. I mean, everything is, you know, nothing is absolutely perfect, right? I mean, that's crazy. But, I mean, it does everything I need it to do. And some, you know what I mean? Well, actually, I have to qualify that, right? There are some issues that I run into because, like I was explaining before, Focusrite doesn't really support Linux. So it's like I have to go find other people that have made tools that might do that. And I have seen one. I just haven't, you know, downloaded it. And because I think I have to. I don't think it's in like a flat pack. I think I'm going to have to compile it myself. And I'm just too lazy to do it right now. But yeah, that's the one downside to Linux, is that there's a lot of people that still don't support it when it comes to physical equipment. So that's a valid, you know, criticism for sure. Strawberry Fields Forever, that's a good song, yeah. How'd I end up getting the screws through? Oh, I went to a hardware store and found some that were just a little bit narrower. You know, and they spin pretty well. These are just basic independent bearings. Back in the day, I used to ride these German bearings called AZF. They were really fast. They were really, really crazy fast. Yeah, let's see. I can try to get it closer. How's that? Oh, anyway, so here's the bottom, right? So Fiberflex, you know, that's the deck, right? And Bennett is the trucks, and Hogs, that's the wheels. You know, let's put it over here on this side, and let's see if we can get it close enough. I'll spin it here like. A little bit of tapping on it. Oh, the grip tape might be good. I never thought about that. Well, I'll show you my keyboard in just a sec. Here, let me put this down for a minute. Also, I think I missed some comments. Let me make sure I got everybody. Thrasher, yeah. No, I was never that good. Nobody was going to put me on the cover of anything. I was lousy at tricks. I mostly just like riding ramps and the like, you know, getting, you know, and some friends of mine and I, there one of our, it just popped into my head that there was a motel that's near where I live, and back in the day they drained the pool because I guess it needed some kind of repairs or something. So me and my friends snuck into it to skate it because it was actually pretty, you know, the transition for everything was actually really good. And anyway, they had to chase us out, but you know, whatever. Anyway, see, oh, my keyboard, right? Yeah. So it's just this a Logitech thing, right? And because I like the having the mildly ergonomic bend, curve, whatever to it is, you know, helps my hand function better, you know. I'm not that fast of a typist, but I can type just about as, like if I'm going, I want to make this idea, but you know what I mean? So if I speak slowly, I could match my typing speed, can match it most of the time. But, well, maybe a lot of the time. Maybe I shouldn't say most of the time. Okay. Beatles, I'll get back, all right. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you came in, Christianity and Worldview. Got to come up with a cool nickname for him because it's just a long name, isn't it? Have I ever been out of the country? Yeah. Let's see, I can give you guys the brief rundown on that. Okay, so the first place I went to out of the country is kind of trivial. It was Mexico because I used to live in San Diego and everybody goes down to Tijuana. We also used to go down to Rosarito, to the beach hotel down there. And there's I think it's called Puerto Nuevo. This place that's a little bit past Rosarito. And they had this really cool restaurant that's like right on the shore that's they have a really, really, well, at least back in the day, they had a really good deal on these like lobsters that like had just come out of the sea. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. And then the next place I went to out of the country was I went to the UK in 1985 with some friends. And we rented a house in West Yorkshire in a place called Hebden Bridge for the month of July of that summer. And then we went down and rented a house in East Sheen, which is just outside of London. Actually, it's just a bit west of Hammersmith. And we stayed for the month of August there. And then we came back. And then the next time I went out of the country was 93. Yeah, 93. Because an artist that I had previously worked for in San Diego, he had moved to Utrecht in the Netherlands, and he invited me to come over to do some collaborative stuff, and so I did that. And then I went back to do some more work with him in 98. 98? Yeah, 98. And I was there for 3 months both times. And yeah, I had he had this building, and that he had a shop, you know, like a storefront kind of thing at the bottom, and then there was flats above it. And so the flat immediately above the shop was where I lived, and then he sublet, or I guess just leased because it was his place, but the apartment above me to a couple, and then the apartment above that was his, and then we had the attic was also a space where it was mostly storage, and there was a lot of light, so you could do a certain kind of work in there too. But and let's see, after that, when I visited my friend Steve, who lives in the UK, I met him in that trip in '85, and we're still really good friends. I speak to him every Sunday with his family. He teaches art at Chester University. Anyway, so I, you know, when I was in the Netherlands, I took a week and went over to the UK to see my friend. And then the next time I went out of the country was, oh man, when was it? It was probably 2000, I guess. 99 or 2000. I went on a cruise, leaving from Houston to go down to Cozumel and came back. We also stopped at Veracruz. I wasn't much of interest in Veracruz, but anyway, oops, I just kicked the thing. Did it move too much? No, okay. And then the year of the 9/11, I went on another cruise, because I just remember that being the year of 9/11 because it was in September. It was near the end of that September, and there was fear that the cruise was going to get canceled because it was a repositioning cruise out of San Francisco to Puerto Rico, and it went through the Panama Canal, so I did that cruise. I had a really good time on both cruises. I really enjoyed it, but I'm probably not ever going to do a cruise again because I've discovered how just absolutely horrible it is for the environment. It's just really heartbreaking that something that's so kind of fun turns out to be such a, bad idea, ecologically. But, yeah. All right, so let's see. Oh, I'm not going to do a mind test tonight. I haven't done mind test live yet. I don't know that I will for a little while. I will eventually, but just not for a little while. And it won't be on a Saturday because I like the Saturdays the way they are now. I do a little bit of, just normal gameplay, like, the, Sokoban, which is what I'll do here, at the next break, after the next break. Let's do some more spinning. And then, of course, chatting with you guys and doing odd triggers. That's kind of what I like doing here. So I don't know how I'll do it yet for doing the, yeah, there we go. Come on. So tonight's gameplay is going to be Sokoban, like I said. All right. Hey, Joseph, glad you made it too, and aloha. Oh, grip state. You know what? Let's do that. Oh, I have been to the Midwest, but the only place I've been is Indiana. A couple of times because I had family there and there were funerals because both my grandparents are from Indiana. My grandmother was from a place called Brownstown, which is a small little town, like it's really tiny. And then my grandfather, there was no town. It was a rural farm. It was a family farm out in fucking nowhere, But they're both from Indiana, so I went back for a couple of funerals. But I also went I was there to Indianapolis on business when I worked for the company Docent. They sent me there because they had a contract with a company called Accenture, which was, what was it? It was part of, I can't remember the guy's name. It was a company, and it ended up splitting, and then one part ended up having like legal issues. I don't know, I can't remember. I wish I could remember better, so I probably should just not talk about it. But anyway, Accenture was they worked with Docent, which was the company I contracted for, because I was never an employee as a computer programmer. I was always a contractor. Yeah. Anyways, that was cool. And Accenture was their thing was that they were doing work for Eli Lilly, and they thought that they were just going to do all the customization of the software, because Docent made software as learning software for online distribution and actually creating tests. But it turned out they didn't have anybody who could do the programming for it. So I worked for professional services, which is the whole point that we did was to modify the software for big companies. Like Autodesk was one, Merrill Lynch was one. Who else was it? I don't know. I worked on the Harvard Business School something publishing. That was at Harvard Business School Publishing. I worked on that project, which was annoying. The couple of people that came out from Harvard were just insufferable. they were like so arrogant and just, oh, Harvard. And here's the thing. They were not the smartest people in the room. They were the least smart people in the room. It was funny. All the engineers and stuff and me and we're in there and we were talking about stuff and they just, what? And it's just like, could you please send us somebody who can actually work with us? Anyway. Yeah, I know what you mean, James. There's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there? Yeah, Vex, I have a couple of ideas for when I do mind test live. Like one I want to do where I'm in creative mode, but I want to have it be where I make it maybe a new world and for, a new game, but have it be that we create stuff together, right? Where you guys say, hey, you should, you know what I mean? And then we try to make stuff happen that way. And then I will also do when I actually start playing the game as opposed to, oops, there's the other timer time. When I actually start playing like in non-creative mode, when I do that, I will certainly do it pretty frequently live. I'll probably even fold it into here at that point because that'll be, a bit in the future and I'll be more comfortable with it. Anyway, so I'm going to restart the timer and I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I'm going to move some stuff around. I'm going to have a little drink of water. It's amazing how dry my mouth gets some nights when I'm talking. So I'm going to set the skateboard aside for a second. Well, for a while, I guess. And where am I going to put it so it's kind of out of my way? I guess I'll just set it down here. And I kick the camera again. It doesn't seem to move too much. Okay. And I'm going to go into doing some gameplay, but I just need to move some stuff around so I can. So I'm using my computer desk is actually a bit away from me, so I can make room for the mics and the tripod that the camera's on. So I'm using when I need to have something closer to me, I'm putting it on a TV tray. It's just to my side right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, so, and, excuse me. So let's go into the gaming mode of it. And then let me move OBS out of my way. Oh, let me make sure I've caught up with comments. Here, let me go back to this while I'm reading comments because it's just easier. Okay. Yeah, T1 is, I don't know how bad it is now, but for a while there was a lot of issues about people fearing kidnappings and that kind of stuff down there, which is like yikes. Yeah, Tijuana can be a lot of fun though, man. Is Accenture still around? I think they split off. I think the company was Arthur Anderson. I might be wrong about that. Anyway. Oh, okay. Well, the work I did with them was back in 2000, that era, It would have been pre-2003 for sure. I don't think I have made a specific video about what I did as a computer programmer. I might think about that, when I'm doing, because I did a biographical video. It just covered a certain part of my life, so I have to go back and check that out and see where I left off, kind of thing. Because I think I'll probably do several of those over time, and so I'll get to that eventually. And even with all the, well, just to give you a brief, preview of coming attractions, maybe even though that attraction may be a ways away. The reason I stopped being a computer programmer is because just before my 40th birthday, so that was in 2005. I got a DUI, and shortly after that, I got a job. A headhunter that I had worked with called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I said, "Well, I'm actually between things at the moment." And he goes, "Hey, because I have a gig for you, but it's over in Maryland, but it's not a contract gig. They're looking to hire somebody." And we talked about it for a bit. And I go, "That sounds very interesting. It'd be worth me talking to them." Anyway, so they flew me out to Maryland and all of that. And then it looked like it was a done deal, and it was going to be a good job. It was like really good salary, really good, all kinds of benefits that were going to be really nice. And I liked the team that I was going to be working with. I met with the guy that was going to be my immediate supervisor, and then I met with the technical guy. He gave me a technical interview, and it was like, we got along great. So I thought, yeah, this is going to be a nice place. And I was ready to, move to Maryland. And after I talked to the lady at HR, it was basically just go home and wait for the offer letter, right? That was more or less, the way I left things. But then I never heard from them. And, like after several days, I was like, what the hell? So I called the headhunter and said, "Hey, dude, what's going on? I haven't heard back from these people. I thought it was good to go." And he said, "Well, last I heard, I thought so too." Anyway, so he reached out to them, and here's the deal. When they did my background check, they found out that I had a DUI, and that was instantly that I just was, nope, not going to hire him. And then after that, the contractor guy goes, well, he called me back, goes, "Oh, you have a DUI?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's why." And then he also said, "I can't help you anymore, because now that that's in the thing where people can find it, I won't be able to get you work. As a matter of fact, you probably won't be able to get any work anymore." And it was like crap, and it was absolutely true. It was really hard for me to find work. And that's why I stopped being a computer programmer, because it was just like I got blackballed essentially for having a DUI, which is really frustrating. But, the life is the life, right? Anyway, so there's a piece of my computer programming, whatever. That's the negative end of it, I suppose. But so sorry for being a downer there. College does not automatically mean intelligent, right? Oh, the different timers are the pest timer. I take a break every 20 minutes because of my back. The greedy timer is every 40 minutes is when I'll click the button so YouTube can show you ads. And then the last timer, the evil timer, is the one that indicates how much time there is for the stream. So there's an hour and 12 minutes left in the stream. And that's pretty much that. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, chime in again and I might get back to it. All right, so let's go back to gaming. And, I'm going to move myself, I think. What if I'll do this. Let me just shrink myself. That'll be better. There, that's good enough. There you go. Bill's a tiny man. All right. Because I looked at this one earlier today, and it seemed to make sense to me, but I thought, I was specifically looking for something that might be fun to do tonight, but yeah, okay, so I think, well, here, just so I can talk about it a little bit. So I don't know if you guys how well you can see the pointer of the trackball, but there's these 5 spaces here, which I think is going to be these here. We'll go into those, just because getting them out and moving them around is going to be a pain in the ass. But the rest of these have to go up here, right? See, they can't, you can't come up here because you can't get behind it, right? And you can't go up here because then, to be able to come out, you'd have to push it against the wall. And if you came around, went around this way to get behind it, right? See, this little thing here screws you up. And so anyway, so it's going to be a big bunch of winding around. So I'm going to leave this stuff to the end, and I'm going to fill these, and then I'll fill these. And I'm going to start with, I think, this one. Yeah, all right, so let's just get up over there, and we'll just start moving boxes around, shall we? All right, oopsie daisy, put yourself in the proper window build before you do anything. All right. Oh, it's still not going. What in the world's going on? Oh, I see. I clicked it into the bar, didn't I? You stinking idiot. All right, here we go. Yeah, we should be fine here. There we go. All right. I like that, that little star thing that shows up every time I bang into a wall. I don't know, I just find it very attractive. And we're going to go down here. Yeah, let's get this guy. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. See, I was going to push this guy down, right? And then, but I'd have to go a long way around to get back behind him. But it just dawned on me. Let's just back up a little bit. That'll be fine. And let's go around this way. Let's put this guy here, that guy there. There we go. Because I'm going to have to go all the way around anyway to be able to move them, right? That's the only way they can go up and around. So you're going to have to do this big running around all the time. But I figured it'll take a bit of time. And it'll give me an opportunity to just kind of wander around and make keyboard noises. And I want to go up, I'll go this way. I know that it doesn't look terribly efficient no matter what you do through this mess, but. And, oh no, I did this wrong, didn't I? I need to back up because it just dawned on me I have to be able to get around that guy again. So, oop. Come on. How am I going to do this? I've screwed it up. Pop, 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 pop. Because of that, I shouldn't have done that, huh? All right, so let's wind it back. And let me rethink it. I like this idea that I can just click it and let it wind back so I can undo stuff. Actually, that's I was playing Enigma because it's going to be the video for Monday is Enigma, and Enigma doesn't let you do that. All right, so let me, now that he's back here, let me just see what's what here. All right, I'm going to do, let's keep going back. I think maybe what I should do, okay, yeah, let's put that guy there. Let's put this guy here like that. Now like that, because that way I'll be able to come back around him, right? So I'll have access that way. Okay. Okay, let's try not to get too rambunctious, Bill. Stay calm. It's just a game. I want to try and keep it with the... Okay, yeah, I'm still caught up with the comments. Oh, how many people do we have tonight? I haven't even checked yet. Let me do a quick, just because now I'm curious. Okay, it says that there's 53 of you right now. That's all right. That's a respectable number for, my live streams anyway. All right, let's go back over to here. And now that I've got that guy up there, let's do this. And we'll take this down, down, down. And go here. And just push that guy in there. And let's go get the next one. So you see how windy this is going to be, right? It's going to take a little bit of time. Oh, I better put the timers back so I can see them. Just realized I covered them up. There we go. So I can see what's going on. All right. Now let's just go get this guy and then push him down. And then over. And then now we'll go Oops. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Pushing them up there. Going around that mess there. Get over and push them down. And now down here. And onto the target square. And let's go get the next one. I think interesting. What am I going to do here? Do I have to move some around to get this guy? Let's see. Can I do this? Let's get this guy to here. And then let's get this guy. Let's just leave that guy there for a minute. I should have pushed him down, shouldn't I have? Yeah. Oh well. That's fine. I was going to have to go around that way anyway, so it's okay. Plus, I rarely get the best score possible when I play these longer ones. I'm not as good at spatial reasoning as I am at other things, so sometimes it takes me a minute to see these things and be able to, you know, project it into the future as far as like what moves or what, and hold it in my head for any decent amount of time, and you know. Here we go. Now where to go? Oops, stop slouching, Bill. Okay. And let's go get that guy. And go around him. And go around him again. And now push him over to there. And now we're going to go all the way around again. Heebie-jeebie. And down we go. And then over. Oops, I need to back up. I wasn't paying attention. I was just running on autopilot. All right. Oh, let's go back. There we go. Heebie-jeebie, Bill. What are you doing? All right, there we go. And I'm going up. And then now we'll go over. And over still. And over still. And who do I want to take? Who's going to be the easiest one to get there? All right, I think. Well, I guess I'll go and take this guy. This is going to be a pain, isn't it? See what I have to do, because he can't. I have to push him this way because that's the only direction he can go, and because I can't get behind him to push anywhere else. But I can push him up here. Do this. Do this. But then now I got to go around this way. Holy mackerel! All right, here we go. Get this guy like this, and now go up and like that. And now we gotta go back through all this stuff. Oh, it's under the 2-minute warning, and we're gonna get. I'll be pushing the add break button again, so psychologically prepare yourselves for corporate America trying to take your money. And there go the dogs. Time is it? 9? Yeah. My sister's probably taking her dogs out to be outside for a while, I guess. That's what it sounds like. And there we go. Now, so I guess let's get this one. Oh yeah, this one's going to have to do the whole thing, right? I'm going to have to go around this way. that. Go like this. Now go back around this way. Oops, seems like somebody in my peripheral vision is saying a comment just happened. Where are we at? What did this say now? What did oh, sorry America, I don't have money in the first place. Okay. They're still going to want to show you ads, though. I once heard a guy talking about, oops, here we go, time is up. So this is going to be the break where there's both the pest timer and the greedy timer. So let's turn this like this. And the test timer will come down here in just a sec. There we go. Thank you. That's done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I will be back in just a little bit. And I'm going to, yeah, so here we go. Okay, I'm back now. Let me move the clock out of my way so I can get back to playing the game. Have I missed any comments here? No, okay, everything's fine. Let's go back over here. And where was I left off here? And all right, I'm needing to move. Oh, I'm going to push that one up. That's what's happening. Okay, we're going this way. And we're going to get this guy up. And above that, come around. Oh, you know, earlier today, I just had something to mumble about. I was going through a bit of a nostalgia day, musically. It's like I was on Spotify, so I just, you know, search an album and then play the album kind of thing. So I was listening to Devo's first album, Are We Not Men? It's a great album. I'm speaking of Brian Eno, right? He's the one that produced that one too. It's fantastic. But I also listened to Oingo Boingo. And I actually saw them in San Diego when I used to live down there as a teenager. A band called The Penetrators opened for them, which was a local punk band. That was a pretty good concert, actually. Oh, and I also listened to an album by the Jeff Beck group called Rough and Ready, which is a 70s thing, so it's very funky. And man, Jeff Beck is a great guitarist. There we go. This is going a lot faster than I thought it was going to. That's fine. That'll give me an opportunity to get back to doing some other triggers and the like too. Because I did bring the brush over, so I have that. And I also have my that little folio thing that I got off my dad's little notebook holder thing that I used in a fairly recent. Oh, so now what are we doing here? Who's coming with me? It's going to be these two. So you're going to go that. Push you like that. Get underneath. Push you up like that. Make the turn. Come down. Go around the big block of wall. And now go this way. And come around. And go like this. And go like that. And then now gotta go around all this stuff again. Yippee-yi-yay, huh? What else was I listening to today? Seems to me there was another thing that fit the nostalgia thing. Oh, one thing, I feel weird about this because it seems like I should have known about this, but oh, why am I going all the way around like this? Why am I doing that? I'm just totally gelled out. This is Ike's. Oh, anyway, so there's this group that I didn't know existed, and I feel kind of like, what? How did I not know about this? It's Basio. Oops. There we go. Come on, stop. There we go. Basio, Levin, and Stevens, right? So it's, what's his name? Dale Basio's his wife. It's Terry Basio that's the drummer, right? You know, from Missing Persons. You know, he used to play for Frank Zappa. I mean, that's something, isn't it? Zappa's a pretty demanding guy. Or was, I guess I should say. And of course, Tony Levin has played with frickin' everybody. Oh, he played with Lou Reed, he's played with Peter Gabriel, he's played with frickin' everybody. And I really I enjoy his bass playing immensely. And Steve Stevens, I like his guitar playing a lot. Plus, I've seen him interviewed a couple of times. He seems like a genuinely pretty okay guy, you know. He doesn't seem to have much of a I'm a god rock star prima donna attitude nonsense going on. But anyway, so I listened to a bunch of their stuff this afternoon on Spotify as well. I was doing a bunch of, you know, I had to do a bunch of housework. Part of my lack of the ability to manage time ends up getting expressed in the fact that my house gets very disheveled and messy. Okay, all the way over here. And then we'll come down. Down, there we go. So all those are done. Let's go get these last 5 and push them around to get where they need to go. Okay, so who should go where? And how is it going to happen? Here, let me just think about this for a second. So, this one has to come over here to come down. I can't come down here. This is the only way you can come down over here because I won't be able to get up around that. So this guy has to come down. I'm going to put him there. All right, that makes sense. So I guess he goes there. This one, these are going to have both come up here, so they'll come up here. How will they go down, though? So maybe this isn't right. Maybe, do they have to come all the way to here? Oh, they all have to go that way, don't they? Except for whoever goes there, which, I don't know. So, because if I go this way, that's what I was thinking I was going to do, is go through here. And then I could push them down here, but I can't get behind it to go that way. And if I push it over here to push it down there, that's in the way. And same thing here, I can't push this up to get around anything, right? So, you know what I mean? So it's like, yikes. Okay, so they all have to come this way. And then I guess, what? Down here and around like that. So, wait, how do you get one here? Oh, this one goes there, doesn't it? Right? It goes over to here, up to there like that, and then up to there. All right, so how do I get this one there? The same way. All right, so these two. All right, so how do I get this guy? All right, so I was wrong. These are all going to go up this way. I totally didn't see that. Okay. So, all right, so let's put this one here real quick just to get it done and out of the way. All right, so that one's all right like that. All right, I'll go get that top one in a minute. Let's go get these lower ones from what's going on here. So this guy, wait a minute. Which one do I want to, I'd say I want to go here, I guess, first. Did I just mess up? I don't think so. So I'm going to have to put this one out of the way, aren't I? So I can keep going around there. All right. I didn't need to go that far. That's fine. It doesn't matter. All right. Now, let's go get which one first? I guess the far one first, just because why not? Let's go get this guy. This one can go to here. Right, and now this guy can go this way. Now I come back around and get that guy. Now let's go up and get that guy. And voila. Look at that, 500 moves too many, you know, when comparing myself to the best score. So, yeah, okay. Let's see, what time is it now? 9:30. So we have, 40. I can just look at the timer, Bill. What are you, idiot? So let's see, 47 minutes left. Do I want to try and do any more gaming, or should I just get back to triggers? Do I have any comments? Okay. Yeah, James, that had come up before, and it will probably happen. I just don't know when I'll get around to it. My problem is I don't have a shortage of ideas or material to do. I just have, it's just a matter of getting them out of my head and then, in front of a camera and microphone, But yeah, so eventually that'll happen, I suppose. I'm going to put it back onto trigger mode because I got brush back now, so I can brush on the mics and the wood and that kind of thing. So here we go. I need a little drink of water. I have to say that okay, so I'd tried doing some green screen stuff before, and it was okay. I mean, I don't know. It was okay. That was it. I mean, but I had problems with it, but getting the lighting right, and not to say that this is perfect by any means, but having the better camera, and I also bought a better green screen. But the other one I have you just use clips to hang it from a bar that goes across the thing. You know what I mean? It's just like that. And it was fine, but the way it wrinkles and stuff makes it difficult to get the lighting to not have little shadows. But I bought one of those. It's a big oval thing that's got, I think it's probably some kind of metal, but I suppose it could be plastic, but it's a sprung material. So it keeps it fairly taut, so you don't get the screwy wrinkles, so it keeps it, fairly smooth, so you can get a good, I don't know. I am pleased that I have better green screen results lately. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so there's so brush. Let's brush on some microphones, shall we? I will brush and whisper and talk into the same microphone at this point here right now. Brushing on the microphone. Somebody's doing something upstairs. Whisper over here while I'm brushing over there. And I'm whispering over here while I'm brushing over there. And whispering over here while I'm brushing over there. Now, I will whisper over here while I'm brushing over here. And I'm whispering over here while I'm brushing over here. And I will now speak softly a little bit. Just a little bit. And I'll go back to a whisper while I'm brushing on the microphone. So now, I'm going to brush over there while I'm whispering over here. I'll brush over there while I'm whispering over here. I'll brush over there while I'm whispering over here. And I'll do a little bit of soft speaking while I'm brushing the microphone over there. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. I've said that a bunch of times. Anyway, whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Now let's do a little flipperoo, right? I'll brush over there and I'll whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Now I'm gonna, that's what I do. Oh, the chunk of wood's down here, that's right. I like to both tap on it with the handle of the craft brush. I think that makes a nice tapping sound. Maybe I should do it on the other side, right, so you guys can see it while it's actually happening too. Oops, don't bang the camera, dude. Or the camera, the microphone. I really like that sound. And I'll do a little bit of soft speaking over here while I'm tapping on our good old chunk of wood. Scrap fragmented of a 2x4. Oh, there goes my fridge. Let's go over here now. I have this idea that I think I might do. It'll depend on if I can find it. I was thinking about finding maybe looking on Project Gutenberg for like old lullabies. You know what I mean? And that maybe I would end the live streams by, picking different lullabies from these old, I really like Project Gutenberg quite a bit. I mean, oh, it's odd. I'm a little, I don't know. It doesn't seem like very many people are interested in, looking at things that are now like public domain stuff. You know what I mean? We're so caught up in, novelty. Wow, that 20 minutes just flew right by, didn't it? Okay, another break's coming up. This will be ad-free, though. Just going to go hang for my pull-up bar. And okay, let me restart the critter. Here you go, Mr. Pest. Let's get you started, and I'm going to do the be right back thing. I'll see you guys in just a minute or two. And I'm back. Is there any... Oh, well, happy... Well, here it's only 9:46 at this point, but yeah. And, when I was kind of standing up and kind of, stretching my back out of right, I noticed on the table kind of across the room that I have accumulated some stickers because, I got stickers, to put on the bottom of the skateboard, like I just showed you earlier. But I also got a couple of extra stickers that came that were like, oh, all right, I got more stickers than I bargained for. Actually, I'll do these ones first. Just do a short show and tell of stickers. Okay, so these two are from a company called Wampler. Yeah, it's got some schmitz on it. Yeah, all right, it's fine. Can you make that out without too much glare? Yeah. I have one of their pedals. It's actually a tape. Well, it's a faux tape echo. It's a digital device, but they're trying to make it sound as much like an old tape echo as possible, and they do a really good job, I think. Anyway, here's another Wampler pedal thing. Because the tape echo that everybody wanted back in the day was the Roland Space Echo one. And it sounds fantastic. There's no denying that. It's a fantastic echo. The problem is it's a tape thing. And tape is super unreliable. And there was, man, how many times I saw dudes, frustrated at gigs because they just couldn't get it to fly right, you know, and it's like, have problems with the tape, you know, it's gonna suck. You know, it was like, that's like the same thing of like why everybody was like super back in the day. I mean, analog synths, everybody liked analog synths because they sound fantastic, but they're horrible live, or at least back then they were, because they would fall out of tune, and it was like everything was. But when digital synthesizers started coming out, all the keyboardists I knew were like, yeah, let's get a digital keyboard because it's reliable, you can carry it around, it stays in tune, you know, all of that. So it's funny now because everybody's like, it's kind of retro back to it, you know. Anyway, so these stickers, here's this one. I'm assuming that these are for a brand of wheels that I'm unfamiliar with or something. It just doesn't ring a bell. Fireball. You know, it could be any number of things, but it seems to me like it's probably a brand of wheels. So it came with, I don't remember which package it came in, but anyway, I didn't order it. It just came. So yay for me, free stickers. And this, I think this is the place that I got the Hog's Wheel sticker from. So they sent me this. Well, obviously, they, you know, promote their own thing as well, right? Which is groovy. That's fine. And these two I actually quite like. And I wish they'd have sent me different ones, though, right? 'Cause I don't know if you'll be able to see it, you know. Anyways, let's go. So you can see that. If it'll make out the. Why does it want to focus? There we go. It fell out again. Come on now. Anyway, it says custom surfboards. It's Gordon and Smith, G&S, right? Because that's the company that makes the Fiberflex, but obviously it's a skateboard, not a surfboard. This one will probably show up better, but it's the same thing. It's just a bigger version of the same logo, right? Gordon and Smith, pretty famous surfboard manufacturer. I'm probably going to put all of those on my Rickenbacker case, to be honest, but there you go. Anyway, let's get back to doing some brushing. I'm going to brush on the end grain of the wood for a bit. Oops, stop bumping the microphone stand, man. Let's go to this side then. Oh, you know what I want to do? I'm going to stop this for a minute. I might come back to it. I just realized I haven't done the beard brush today. And I know a lot of people like both the beard brushing and the tapping on the beard brush, and it is just right over here on my desk. Probably from last Saturday, to be honest. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this thing too. I put it on my desk and forgot about it. That's kind of messy. I should probably have wiped it off, huh? Well, all right. Well, it's messy, so forgive it for that. Forgive me for that anyway. So before I do the beard brush, I'll show you this. So when my uncle died, and because the place I lived in San Francisco was the place that he lived in, and after he died, I just sort of moved in his place because the guy that he was roommates with was like I've known that guy since I was a baby. You know what I mean? So my uncle is a gay guy, and Gary, the guy that was my roommate, was a gay guy, and he's Gary's older than my uncle by several years, but he was my uncle's kind of friend when he was coming out. This was back in the when would it have been? Probably the 70s, I guess, would have been when my uncle came out. Anyway, and Gary was like really, really good support for him, you know. And Gary was a good few years older than him, so Yeah, anyway, I mean, so it was, he was an important guy to my uncle, and via that became an important guy to, basically the family as a whole, right? Um, anyway, my uncle he just, I don't know, he collected weird things, and I have all these like bits of marble. Oh, that's weird. With the way I guess it must be that there's just enough green in this. It's very dark, but I guess it's similar enough that it catches the green screen thing. So if I can show it in a way that you don't. That's weird. Anyway, I really find it quite attractive, but here, I like this sound. What do you think? And I have a bunch of these. Some of them are in like weird shapes because they're broken, and some of them are just, I don't know what, So I have several of them. But oh, if you go watch, oh man, it's, I need to go look it up because now it's driving me nuts. It's one of my videos from a long time ago, so bear with me a sec while I go. Actually, you know what? Here, let me do this. I'll switch to that. Oh, you know what I should do is I should move this, shouldn't I? There, that's a little bit better to read there now. Okay, anyway. Let me go here. Then I can go to here. Right, and then I'll go to my channel. And let's go to videos. And it's going to be a ways down. Maybe I should have done it from the oldest first, but come on now, catch up. Okay, I still have to go quite a ways still. All right. It should be. Is this even in order? It seems kind of strange. Have I passed it? Oh, there it is right here. Lepidus moleum, which is, I think it means smooth stone or something like that. I remember Googling whatever to, get it, but it's supposed to be Latin, I think, for smooth stone. But you see some of them there, that all those little stones in there. Here, let's do this. I'm not going to. There you go. See, this is a, I wonder if this one's in there. That's not the right one. Nope, it's not that one. But anyway, so I have a bunch of these things. It's crazy. Anyway, so let me just go back to the other thing here. Anyway, I really like this sound. Looks like it's. So what do you guys think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going to move some stuff around so it's easier for me to see what's going on with certain things. There we go. Now I can see the whole. I'm always paranoid that, because YouTube kind of screws up just often enough that I get paranoid that they're going to drop the ball and I'll have to like restart the stream again or something, because that's happened before. Well, not so much restarting it, but like getting it barely started and then something breaks at the very beginning of it. You know what I mean? You know what? Here we go. Let's. If I hold it on the sides like this, it gets more of a ring sound. Oh, thanks, Jared. I'm glad you liked the background. And Bianca and ASMR relaxation. Thanks. Cool. I'm glad it's good. Oh, and Vex, yeah. Oh, good. Okay, I might. How much time do we have left? All right, I'll give it a few more minutes. I was going to talk a little bit about, Actually, I'll go ahead and do it now. Why not? So, I don't know for sure what I'm doing Friday of next week. But Monday is going to be Enigma. It's already uploaded. It's ready to go. It's just scheduled to come out on Monday. I think I have it coming out at noon. And then on Wednesday will be the Whisper version of Enigma. It's already recorded and uploaded, ready to go for next Wednesday. I think I'm having that one just come out at midnight, though. I'm trying an experiment because I think it does better when I do it at noon because, well, YouTube gives us, various amount of information, analytics, and this kind of stuff. And one of the things they show you is when your viewers are online, like when the highest concentration of them is online. Now, that doesn't mean they're watching your videos. It just means that they're online. But the biggest amount of people that are my viewers are at YouTube between 1 and 3 or something like that in the afternoon, my time, which I find kind of weird. But again, it doesn't mean they're watching my videos. It just means that they're on YouTube. But I was thinking, maybe it makes sense to me that it gives it the highest probability that you guys would see that I actually put something out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out how to get that stuff to work to my advantage, I suppose. But oh, hey, Ghost Cakes. How's it going? Didn't see you come in there. Let me go back to this one here. I really like this. Maybe do it this way so I can get a little bit of dynamism, right? Yeah, it's kind of, ASMR relaxation. There's times I don't, oops, my alarm just went off for 10. That's fine. I will just, all right, fine. Yes, I know you're going off. Come back. Don't do the weird thing that you do. That's fine. Let's do that. And I don't need to be in world. I need to be in timer. Or that was just alarms, wasn't it? Anyway, there we go. That just means at my next break, I'm taking my 10 o'clock pills. I take pills essentially, 3 times a day. In the morning when I get up at 6, 2 in the afternoon, and then 10 at night. So it's like they're all 8 hours apart. So. But those are just for the muscle relaxer and the gabapentin. So basically the pain pills, so that my back doesn't make me sobbing in a heap on the floor. Yeah, I know what you mean, huh, Jared? I mean, I have that kind of problem a lot with other, ASMRs I watch. It's like there's an appeal, right? You're watching them because they're appealing to you, but at the same time, you just kind of, oh man, I'm just, it's just crazy. Oh, what was I saying before? But sometimes I don't know. I'm not sure. YouTube is very good at being, helpful to us, as Because here's the thing, I constantly am getting these little things, recommendations and stuff about that I should be having mid-rolls, and it's like, do you know who you're talking to here, right? This is for an ASMR channel. You don't want to do mid-rolls in ASMR. That's ridiculous. You give them an ad at the beginning, so they go, oh, okay, cool, boom, boom, and then you let them go do their thing, and they're going to snooze out. I mean, I don't know, man. Because my reaction is like, if you're showing me a video that I find obnoxious or whatever, it kind of makes me go, I don't want that. You know what I mean? It makes me have a negative association with whatever the ad was. So it's like, you guys should just pay attention to what's going on, man. Anyway, I didn't mean to be so gripey. Sorry about that. Oh, and the greedy timer is going to go off again. That'll be the last time for the greedy timer tonight. And it'll actually be the last time for any of the breaks tonight, right? So they'll do that, and then I'll restart them, I guess. And then, actually, I don't need to restart them, right? Because I'll just run everything off of the evil timer now, because there's not going to be any more breaks, no more. Well, after this one. Actually, which I'll probably just go take my pill and then come right back, so it won't be a very long break at all. Let's go this way. Man, I like, it's got a weird, that little kind of ring in it. Okay. I'm not going to restart him, I can just let him go, so I'll just leave it be. And okay, I'm going to take a bit of a break, and I'm just going to go take the pill, and I'll be right back. So, actually, but I am going to hit the freaking add button. So, anyway, I will be back momentarily. I'm back. Well, there we go. Let me, you know, what I was going to do, let's see. I've already done that. Oh, beard brush, that's what I was going to do. So I'll do some actual brushing of the beard here for a minute. Over here a little bit too. Okay, it's enough brushing. How about we do tapping on the back of the beard brush? And do a little bit of talking over here. Oh, I just do a little bit of tapping over there. Do a little bit of talking. And a little bit of tapping. I'm going to move the tapping and the talking both. Talking, talking, talking. Tapping, tapping. Oh, thank you, Bianca, and ASMR relaxation, excuse me. Yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit more brushing in a second, too. What's my favorite food? Well, it's a tough one. The thing that I eat the most is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So, I suppose if you're going to use what you eat the most as your favorite, then that's my favorite. But otherwise, I don't know. Depends on what mood I'm in. I like abalone. I like calamari. Oh, hey, Matthew. Thank you very much. That's super generous. Okay, we all know how this goes, right? And you are very welcome for the stream. Okay, here we go. 3 cheers for Matthew, please. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, ah, ah, they're going wild, ah. So everybody give some thumbs up and congrats for Matthew. Thank you for your generosity, man. That's very nice. Thank you. And now I'm going to go back to actually I'll do some more brushing and then I'll do some more tapping. I just kind of go back and forth between the two a little bit. Oh, have I talked about this already? I don't remember if it happened before last weekend or I'm not sure. Anyway, I was watching, YouTube, whatever. You get the recommendations thing, and oh no, it wasn't from recommendations. What it was is on the back end, you get these things that tell you about mentions, right? When other people mention you, and like in their comments or videos or whatever. And some guy was on that list, and I hadn't noticed it before. I don't know, it wasn't all that long ago, but a little while back. And he was doing a tier thing of how the top being S and then ABC, you did it all the way down, right? It makes me think of Tear Zoo, if you ever watched that channel. I love that thing. Anyway, and apparently I was in his thing, and I was actually kind of wow, because he put me in the bottom rung and says that I'm a one-trick pony. And I thought, wow, I'm not sure where you get that idea, because you know what I mean. It seems to me I have a pretty diverse amount of videos. I mean, some NNSBB stuff and game playing and reading, and I don't know. It's like I was a little baffled by that rating, but yeah, to each their own. Go over here now. Oh, you mean about the food, Maury? Oh yeah, I'm trying to think, what else do I like to eat that I would say might be a favorite? Well, the seafood stuff I like quite a bit. Sometimes I also, I know a lot of people aren't, I get people that are very surprised because I'm not a vegetarian or vegan or anything like that. I'll eat whatever. I'm an omnivore. And I will admit that, people who are vegetarian and vegan have a point in that the industrial practices of our food industry are pretty despicable. But that's a practice that has to do with, humans and their behavior and stuff. That's not just the eating of things. But, it's like, so how is it that animals are more precious than plants? You know what I mean? I mean, I guess the thing is that they don't have faces, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? But everything eats something, man. Unless you're like on the very bottom rung of the, food stuff, like small microorganisms that actually just directly eat, compounds and, stuff like that. So they're not, they're not having to break much down, right? They're just. But unless you're doing that, you're eating another thing that's alive, and, and they eat each other too all the time. So isn't that one of the theories of how we end up with mitochondria inside of cells? Is it the theory is that one cell ate another cell, and the cell that got eaten kind of became part of the eating cell or something like that? I can't remember if I probably have that all screwed up. But oh, the tier list. I'm sorry, I didn't see that comment. Oh yeah, that's true, Maury. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. Like I've said before, my grandfather grew up on a family farm in Indiana back when, like he was there during the Depression in Indiana, right? It's crazy. But Nathan Zito GP, hello. Anyway, the house that my grandparents had when I was a kid, well, actually, it's a house that they had, for, almost my entire life, really. But they did some gardening and the like. Actually, they did a lot of gardening, actually, but they didn't do a lot of vegetable growing. They did some here and there. But they had a fruit orchard. And like I don't know, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I guess 11 orange trees. Is that right? Something like 11 orange trees. And a bunch of, like, some peach trees and plum trees. They had a persimmon tree. They had this avocado tree that just cranked out the most amazing avocados. Like, it's like we had way more avocados than, than we could ever eat and give away and everything. It was just crazy how many avocados that damn tree made. It was really good, too. And one of our chores in the morning, when my sister and I stayed with my grandparents, was to get up and take a bucket out in, because it was about, I don't know, about 2 acres of land, so it's not gigantic, but but take the bucket out into the orange grove part and pick oranges. And so we had fresh squoze orange juice every morning. Like from the tree to your glass was probably 10 minutes, 20 minutes. That's pretty amazing orange juice, man. But yeah, he was, the reason that I was thinking about that is because he ended up with gophers and that kind of thing all the time, right? And yeah, so it was like gopher traps and all kinds of stuff, and for rats and whatnot. I mean, anything that was a rodent he didn't like, because he didn't keep cats. So although when he grew up on the farm, they did keep cats, but it's like cats didn't live in the house and you didn't feed them. They lived in the barn, and they earned their keep by eating. They got to stay there, for and the price of them staying there was them eating the damn rodents. Oh, here we go. All right, cool. Thanks, Maury. I end up with so much stuff in my head sometimes. It's like, is that right? You know what I mean? Okay, we're now under 5 minutes, so slow the tapping down a bit. Wind the evening down a bit. Oh wow, there's 53 of us. Well, I guess 54 if you count me. No, this Monday is Enigma because last Monday was mind test. So the Monday after that will be, so 2 weeks from last Monday. So what, a week and a couple of days from now. Yeah, you know, since I started doing the gardening thing, I really have been enjoying it. Oh, man. So there's this nursery that's near me that had some coyote mint, which is one of the plants I wanted to plant in that part of the garden that I've talked about before. And so so anyway, so I went and bought some of them. There were these 4 little things, and they're like little seedling little things. They come in this little tube. I've never seen these before, but it's a little tube that has the plant and its roots going down. Do I have anything that even looks like it might be? Well, whatever. But they're small little things. And I bought 4 of them to kind of go behind these bunch of succulents that I transplanted out of. My sister had them in a pot, and so and they were getting root bound and stuff. So we took them out of the pot and divided them up and, you know, put them in the garden. And anyway, something, I don't know what, but something kind of came and screwed up one of them, right? It's like it's dead now. It's like something thrashed it or something, like a little, I don't know, because it didn't look like it got eaten. It looked like somebody had dug at it or something, like a cat or something. So I don't know. But the other 3 look like they're going to be okay. But once established, the coyote mint is supposed to be pretty good and, you know, resilient sort of plant. But it makes these beautiful purple little flowers, and it's mint. You know, it's actually, you can eat it and make tea out of it and all that kind of stuff. The idea of like, oh, I could just go out in my own yard and pull some mint and, you know, let it dry or whatever and make some tea, you know. Yippee-yi-yay. But yeah, you're right, gardening is so cool. I mean, when I was a kid, like, I did gardening for my grandparents, right, whatever, but that was a chore, you know what I mean? It was okay and it was nice, but when you're a kid, you know, you don't appreciate those things. But now that I'm actually an adult with, you know, a little bit of maturity, it's like, man, I'm really, really digging it, you know? It's nice. Oh, good. I'm glad you'd like it. Is this Nathan? Is it Natanzi2GP? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but there you go. And Iris, hello. It's good to see all of you. Well, that's at the very end of the thing, but yeah, at least you're here for a bit of it. So we're down inside of a minute now, so does anybody have any last minute questions? I'll let it go just a little bit extra just because, you know, there's a lag from when I say something to when you guys see it, you know. Where am I from? I was born in Chula Vista, California. It's down near the border with Mexico. So, California boy. I've spent, like, you know, the vast majority of my time here in California. Man, Rob. You kill me, man. You kill me. I mean, it's like, it really is like one of those, you know, you give people something and then, you know, they want more. You can't, you know, I should stop tapping because this should be the end of it. So, like I said, I'll just let it go for a second or so longer just to make sure that, you know, if there's any last minute stuff anybody needs to say, but otherwise this is really just going to be good night. And after about a minute, I'm going to do the Aloha sibling and turn the thing off. Here, I'll do a little da 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 da. Thanks, Bianca. Of course. horse Rob. La, da, 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 da. Do, 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 Okay, gang. I hope you had a good time tonight. I certainly did. And well, Enigma's Monday and on Wednesday for the Whisper version. And yeah, well, there you go. That should give you guys a little bit of something to check out. And anyway, I'll see you next Saturday. And aloha, siblings.